Why does it feel like we're living in two different worlds sometimes? Well, it turns out one of the biggest fault lines running through our society might just be something a lot of us have, a college diploma. Or, maybe more to the point, not having one. Today, we're going to dig into this diploma divide, what it is, what it costs us, and whether college is actually delivering on its most important promise, teaching us how to think.
Okay, let's just jump right in with a number that'll make you sit up and pay attention. Take a look at this polling data from around the 2024 U.S. election. It shows a wild 30-point gap in voter preference based purely on education. College grads, they lean Democratic by 16 points. But folks without a degree, they favored Republicans by 14. This isn't just a small difference of opinion. It's a massive societal chasm, and you know what? It's getting wider.
And look, this goes so much deeper than just politics. We're talking about a fundamental split in our country that affects everything. How much money we make, our job security, our health, even how long we live. This is the story of our great diploma divide.
So what exactly do we mean by the diploma divide? Well, it's the term for this huge, growing gap in pretty much every part of life, and it all hinges on that one piece of paper. It's creating two totally different American experiences with two totally different futures.
Let's start with the most obvious one, money. It's no secret that on one side, you've got degree holders who, on average, pull in a much higher annual income. And on the other side, well, it's a much tougher financial road. But the real question is, just how big is that difference?
And here's where it gets kind of nuts. We are not talking about a small leg up here. Full-time workers with a college degree earn, on average, 86% more every single year than folks with just a high school diploma. I mean, think about that. That's not just a raise. That is a completely different life.
And it's not just about the size of your paycheck. It's about whether you get one at all. Just look at this. The unemployment rate for college grads is about half of what it is for high school grads. That means way more stability, especially when the economy gets rocky.
So, you add it all up, right? The higher salary year after year, plus the better job security, and the long-term impact is just immense. We're talking an average lifetime earnings boost of over $1 million. $1 million. That's the staggering financial power of the diploma.
So this brings us to the big question. Why? Why does a degree create such a massive advantage? Well, the answer is supposed to be about one core promise, that college doesn't just teach you what to think, it teaches you how to think. It's all about building that skill of critical thinking.
But what do we even mean by critical thinking? It's not as complicated as it sounds. It's really the bedrock of making good decisions. It's the ability to look at some piece of information, take it apart, check its sources, and then put together a logical, well-reasoned conclusion about it.
And you can really break it down into a simple process. It's not some kind of magic trick. It's a disciplined three-step method. First, you analyze the information. Second, you evaluate the evidence. Is it solid? And third, based on all that, you form a sound judgment. This is the skill college is supposed to be all about.
Which leads us right to the heart of the issue. We see the clear benefits of having that diploma. We know the promise is to create critical thinkers. But is that what's actually happening on campus? Let's take a hard look at the reality check.
So it seems pretty simple then, doesn't it? The diploma gives you opportunities because it teaches you how to think. So, hey, everyone should just go to college and the problem's solved, right?
Well, not so fast. A landmark study from the book Academically Adrift dropped an absolute bombshell. It found that a staggering 45% of students, nearly half, showed no real improvement in these core skills after 2 full years of college. That promise, it turns out, isn't always matching the reality.
So, what's going on? Why the huge disconnect? Well, research points to a few big challenges. For a lot of students, academic rigor just isn't there, and they're not spending many hours actually studying. You've got these huge lecture halls that are all about memorizing facts for a multiple-choice test, not actual analysis. And sometimes, campus environments can become echo chambers, which makes it hard to get exposed to different ideas, and that's exactly what you need to sharpen your thinking.
Now let's talk about why this skills gap is more dangerous today than ever before. We live in an age of information overload. Some people even call it an infodemic. And in this world, critical thinking isn't just a skill, it's our best defense.
And it's honestly not an exaggeration to say this. In a world just saturated with misinformation, with AI-generated everything, and with propaganda coming at you from all sides, the ability to tell what's real from what's fake, that isn't just a nice-to-have skill anymore. It's a flat-out superpower.
And you can literally see the link between education and this superpower in the data.
A 2023 Pew Research study found that college grads were way better at spotting fake news headlines than people with less education. It's a perfect picture of that diploma divide in action, acting as a shield against misinformation.
And that's because critical thinking isn't just one thing, it's a whole toolkit. You learn how to spot a bogus argument. You learn to question where information is coming from. You get better at seeing bias. You start demanding evidence for claims, and you learn how to actually read data. This is the shield a good education is supposed to give you.
Okay, so we've established the diploma divide is real, and we know that college isn't always building these critical thinking skills. So the big question becomes, what do we do about it? The good news is there are real practical steps we can all take to start bridging this gap.
And here's the most important thing to remember. This isn't just on universities to fix, not at all. Strengthening critical thinking is a shared responsibility. It's on educators, it's on students, it's on parents. It takes a real effort from all of us.
So here's a simple game plan. For educators, it means getting away from boring lectures and into things like debates and projects that solve real problems. For students, it means you got to take ownership, choose the tough courses, and go out of your way to hear from people you disagree with. And for parents, this whole thing starts super early, just by encouraging your kids to be curious and to always ask why.
Which leaves us with one last, really big question to chew on. It is crystal clear that our education system is a powerful machine for giving us information. But as we try to close this diploma divide and build a society that's a little bit smarter and a lot more resilient, we have to ask ourselves, are we actually teaching wisdom?